folks, and welcome to episode 4 of It Came from the Discount Bin. Of course, I'm your semi-host, Andrew Walker, and we also have...
Alexa Harnick.
And Mickey, the dental hygienist.
Jackson.
Jackson.
This week?
If you're nasty.
Jackson. What does that mean? We don't know. We'll find out over the next 45 minutes. Hopefully. But yeah, we got 4 films to talk about today, folks. As everyone knows, it's our favorite time of the year, Halloween. The air is getting cool. Football is in full swing. We have a pirate and a witch.
Yes.
A witch with a little tiny purple hat. And I did not have time to stop at a Halloween discount store today, unfortunately, but who knows, maybe next year. But yeah, like I said, we're going to talk about 4 films. They're all horror films of different subgenres of the horror category. We're going to start with a classic that almost everybody knows, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Came out the year that I was birthed, 1984, directed by Wes Craven, probably his best-known film. He also did the Scream series, which is
Also very, very good.
yes. I've only seen the first one,
Really?
Me too.
Really?
but I liked it. But I know they're still making
It
them.
gets hokier as it goes on, but it's almost worth it.
They're coming out with Scream 7
Almost
next year.
Yeah.
So let's start with Mickey. Is this one of those films you saw when you were like 7?
I was, because I had a sister that was 8 years older than me, so I watched this at a too young age, I'm sure of it. And it was disturbing for me. It was definitely scared me half to death
Sure.
in a lot of parts, you know. The scene where she's getting drugged up the ceiling.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
across the ceiling, and there's just blood everywhere, and he's screaming, and I'm just like, oh my God, what is happening? I'd never seen, as like, what, a 6, 7-year-old me is like, I don't understand. How is she on the ceiling? Like, by today's standards, you know, that's pretty typical with CGI and stuff. But
Yeah, but no CGI there.
no.
I was trying to figure out how they did it while I
Yes.
was watching it. Then, of course, later I looked it up. But they did have the set that could rotate.
They rotated the set. I had a feeling it had to be that.
Which,
But it was, I mean,
yeah,
definitely disturbing for me as a very wee girl.
sure. And I think they might have done the same thing in the scene with the red geyser blood coming out.
The iconic, yeah.
I think. I could be wrong on that, but I just from my own personal interest and experience on film sets, I always try to figure out how
Analyze
they
it.
do these things.
Right.
If it's not CGI, it's like
Yeah.
I got to know how they did these practical effects.
Yeah. And Johnny Depp getting sucked into that bed, you know.
Oh, yeah,
And all
yeah.
of his stuff, and then just that geyser of blood.
Alexa, so we watched this at your place, what, a week and a half ago or so, and this is your first time seeing it, right?
I did see it once before, probably about 15 years ago.
Oh,
10, 15 years ago. And I remember liking it, and there were certain parts that I remembered going into it, like the Johnny Depp
Yes.
death and the marshmallow stairs and the bathtub scene.
oh yeah. Yeah, so I guess I'm the one that saw it the latest. I only watched this for the first time last year.
Really?
And it's just one of those things, like a lot of movies, for some reason I've been able to not hear too much about the plot or anything, and I went into it fairly not knowing what was going on.
Right.
And of course, I loved it. It's got a 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is deserved. We'll talk about the sequels in a minute if you've seen any of the sequels, but so it's one of those movies that it only had a budget of 1.1 million, which today is about 3.25 million, but it made 57.1 million on 1.1 million. That is what I call an ROI, a return on investment.
Yes. It had so many of the things that us in the early 80s just absolutely loved, like things we could relate to. Again, we're lying to our parents about having a sleepover.
You were
at this
lying to your
girl's house.
parents at 7?
Not 7, but let's see.
At
I'd have
7
to
and a half.
Let's fast forward to late 80s when I was lying and saying, oh, we're all staying at this one girl's house and we're all staying somewhere else where there's a parent. And, There's
And-
house phones and like he's
And
even
they
in
got
that
Bo-
one scene.
and they
he's
got
trying
Boone's
to-
Farm.
Yeah, and he's
No.
trying to lie to his mom and say he's at his cousin's house who lives by an airport, and he's got the tape of all the music, and
on
the
the
sound, and then
boombox.
it goes
Yeah.
to like a gang fight or something, and he's like, oh yeah, it's just the neighbors fighting. I'll call you back. Like these are things that we like legit did when we were trying to scam back in the day before everything was on video.
Right.
But I think we could all relate to that. And the other thing that was great about it is, this was one of the first ones where the villain or the horror character was kind of funny. Like he
Yeah.
had a little bit
Yeah.
of some jokes here and there. And I think people liked that. And then people started playing off of it. But I think that was like just that little niche that I think just also solidified it.
I think, yeah, and I was thinking about that earlier today because 6 years before this movie was the first Halloween, which sort of mainstreamed the slasher genre.
Correct.
I mean, there were a couple movies before that in the 70s, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Right.
which was it was popular in its own way, but Halloween mainstreamed it
Yes.
to showing at 2,000 theaters,
Oh, yeah.
countrywide. And I was trying to do a compare and contrast of Halloween and this movie. And this movie, it has a lot more action.
Yes.
It has a lot more
like the
practical effects.
Correct.
Just weird, hallucinogenic things where you're like, is this real or not?
Yeah, what's really
Yeah.
happening? or
Whereas,
not.
and like you said, a little bit of comedy.
little bit of comedy.
Whereas Halloween is straightforward. There's not a whole lot of dialogue.
No.
And so Wes Craven saw how hugely popular Halloween was, but he's like, I'm going to do my own thing with
Yeah.
it.
Mm.
I'm going to have a character that's more developed, I guess, three-dimensional compared to Mike Myers.
Yep.
And this movie was just as popular as Halloween, maybe even
And
more.
Wes Craven, he always toes that line on the appropriate, inappropriate backstory on it. And
Yes,
And
yes.
it was, this isn't like just a child molester. This was just a guy who snatched children, took them to a boiler room, and murdered them.
Was it explicitly said he was? I know
A
he
child
murdered.
murderer. It
But,
says, yeah.
but was he a child molester?
No, they
because
didn't say
I
molester.
didn't think so.
The mom said he was a child murderer.
Yeah.
She didn't say molester, and she said he would just take them to the boiler room and kill them. And it was like 20 kids. This isn't like 5.
Right. And also the moral, I don't want to say the moral of the story, but a sort of a gray area was that he got off on a technicality,
Yes.
and then the parents and other people
Burned
from the
him up.
neighborhood, they're
Yeah.
like, well, we're going to take the law into our own hands.
Yep.
And then killed him. And then he's coming back to get revenge on their kids.
Exactly. And later on, if you watch some of the sequels, it's brought to like light that as they were burning him alive, like the devil came to him and was like, hey, you can live forever as kind of like a demon, or you can die. Like, these are your choices. And that's how he's like this dream jumper
Mm.
demon person. Because I was like, I don't understand. Like, if they burned him up, he just didn't die, or how is he doing this psychological crazy stuff? So that's the theory I'm rolling with from
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I mean, it
From
is
sequels.
it is sort of like a supernatural level where, like, obviously this isn't
right.
realistic like a lot of other horror movies.
And all of these for
But-
me were a little bit disturbing in their own right, but this one, I don't sleep well. I have a fear of the dark. So a nightmare guy like did it for me. Like
Yeah, I mean, the thought of being attacked in
It-
your sleep is terrifying.
Right, exactly. Or you sometimes can't see him. Like this
Mhm.
kid's watching his girlfriend get killed and he can't see what's getting her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's happening.
Yeah, when she's getting like stabbed and there's
Exactly.
blood everywhere, and he's just sitting there
Right.
saying
Like what's happening?
Yeah.
Same thing with
Mhm.
Johnny
And then, of
Depp's
course,
mom.
he's gonna get blamed for it because he was the only
Mhm.
person in the
100%.
room. Did you guys do any reading on the backstory of how he came up with the story?
I did not.
I think I saw some of it on Wikipedia. I'm trying to remember.
So,
It was from his own experience as a child, someone he encountered or something.
so
really?
so the Freddy Krueger part, like the actual physical thing he got from was he was a kid. He was looking out the window and he saw an old man who looked kind of scary, and he like looked up at him in his room. So that in and of itself was like gave him the idea
Right.
of how to do Freddy. But then there was a kid who bullied him whose name was Fred Krueger. So he just
Oh,
used that
I
name,
am hilarious.
which
that is so funny.
I would never do just for legal purposes.
Right.
you know? But this is 1981, right?
Yeah, they had a lot more liberties.
But the whole thing about people dying in their sleep. So, so he was living in L.A. at the time, and in the 70s there were a lot of Vietnamese and Hmong immigrants
Mm-hmm.
from
Oh,
Laos,
yes, I did read
Cambodia,
about
and
this, yeah.
Vietnam who
Right.
were fleeing the war and genocide, and some of the men would die in their sleep,
Oh god.
and he read about it in different articles, and he's like, how come nobody's putting anything together? Like, do they have some sort of heart issue that's causing this? Or,
Right. Was this part of when Glenn was reading to her from that book and saying that people would take charge in their dreams, and was that from, did he say that it was in like Cambodia? I feel like now I can't remember exactly
I don't know.
what culture he said it was from, but he was saying that they could, take charge in their dreams, or she said, what if they die in their dreams? He's like, well, then they die in real life.
And people have said, I've read that ever since I was a kid, that if you die in your dream,
You die.
you die in real life. But I would have been dead 30 years ago. I have dreams all the time.
Now I never
where
actually
I
end up
get
dying
shot
though.
and
Like if I'm falling, it's like a free fall. I never actually hit the ground. Or if something like I'm in a car accident or a tornado's, I never actually get to the point where I would die. I do always wake up. Do you actually get shot and you're like,
I had a dream a long time ago where I was in this big, huge open square like in China, and a guy pulls out a gun from a briefcase and shoots me right there in front of everybody.
what were you watching that night? That is a lot.
I can never connect these things back to like anything I watched. Yeah. But so yeah, the condition afflicted Southeast Asian men between the ages of 19 and 57 and was believed to be sudden unexplained death syndrome.
Like SIDS in adults.
Yeah. So, and Wes Craven said, it was a series of articles in the LA Times, 3 articles about men from Southeast Asia who were from immigrant families who had died in the middle of nightmares. The people and the paper never correlated them. They never said, hey, we've had another story like this. So he pitched, he got, I don't know if it was a finished script, but a rough script, gave it to Disney at first. But in the early 80s, Disney was trying to make, I don't want to, not like R-rated horror, but like,
They were trying to branch out a little bit.
Yeah,
More different.
like
yeah.
some more serious, like PG-13. And they were like, no. Then he pitched it to Paramount, and they said, no, it's too similar to Dreamscape. Have you seen that?
Mhm.
I have not seen it.
Mhm.
I'm not. I was
It's
gonna,
similar.
I was
but
going to ask
think
you about it
it's
because
different.
I would have guessed you would have.
Yeah, but it is different.
He pitched it to Universal. They passed. And then you've heard of New Line Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time in the mid 80s, they were just a distributor. They didn't actually produce movies. Say some small studio like in New York City or LA would make something, and they would say, okay, we'll distribute it for you. You give us 25% of the profits, whatever. They weren't an actual production company. This was their first.
Mainstream,
the
like
first
a
Right.
movie.
They actually had to borrow money from other sources to fund this.
Again,
That's how small
what
they
a
were.
return on their investment.
Yes, it made 52 times its budget.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's nicknamed, New Line is nicknamed the house that Freddie built.
Yep.
Um,
And he was, I mean, just classic. Like after that, like everything he did horror wise. And I looked up some of the stuff. So some of the things he did afterwards as like Freddy or just like a scary guy are hilarious. Like I think there was one that was like hookers and werewolves or something as I'm looking in the movies and stuff he was in. I'm like, oh, some of these are going very far outside of the box.
I feel like I read too on the Wikipedia that despite him, being primarily in his career, Freddy Krueger, that Robert Englund was just considered like just such a nice guy. Like when he was,
I have heard
having
that
the
people-
hours of Freddy makeup, but he was just so like pleasant to work
And
with.
people that have gone to like the horror cons or whatever that meet him, they say that. They say he is so nice. Like he's just a nice guy. One of the scenes that was one of my scared me when I was a kid, and I remembered when I watching it again, is where Nancy's sleeping in her friend's bedroom because she gets murdered in her mom's room. So Nancy's in her room, and he comes through the drywall, like
Yeah.
like pushes the
Oh,
drywall
yeah, and it
down with his
stretches out.
face and stretches it like with his hands, and you can see the one, knife hand and the outline of his face, and it's right over top of her. That,
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
again, as an adult, I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's because you're sleeping, you don't know what's happening around you.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just that was a lot in the bathtub scene with the.
Yeah.
That's another iconic, with the claw between, her legs, just waiting.
Mm.
But I did enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, and I watched the first 5 movies over 2 nights last weekend. Not a couple days ago, but
Yeah.
the weekend before. And I had never seen it before, and I loved them.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they don't compare to the quality of the first one, but
But
it's always funny to see the reason why he
Oh,
comes back
yeah.
in each one, having been killed in the previous, movie.
right.
Back again.
The first 3, I think, are worth watching. Nancy comes back in the third one.
Is that Dream Master? Is Dream Master the third
I think
one?
it's the third one.
That has the blonde and they're in like
It's
the bin?
Patricia Arquette.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was probably my second favorite to the first one.
I thought the second one was pretty good, but it happens in the same house that Nancy lives in,
Yep.
but a new family moves in,
Mm.
and there's
and he like inhabits the boy's body.
right,
Yeah.
kind of, and so yeah, there's an older son and younger daughter, and the older son starts having the nightmares
Mm.
because Freddy's trying to find Nancy, but he's just like, oh, I'm just at this house, I gotta
Yeah.
I gotta mess with somebody. But no, they're definitely, those first 3 are worth watching. The 4th and 5th,
It's kind of like we said with the Scream, like they just start to get kind of kooky after a while. It's a lot.
I think it was the 5th one. Do you remember there was a character who is writing a comic,
Yes.
and then later on he fights Freddy
in the comic.
in like the comic.
Yeah.
It is.
It's good.
It's
good.
The practical effects are so cool.
Yeah.
Like you don't see this today, really.
Mm.
Anyway, but yeah, I watched the 2003 film Freddy vs. Jason. I don't know if you've
I
seen
saw it
that.
at the movies.
Mm.
Yep.
I don't think that they gave a good enough reason why they needed to make this movie.
There wasn't. I think everybody just wanted to see them fight, like Alien versus Predator. Like
Yes.
just-
Also,
it's just
there's no good reason.
there's no good reason
yet.
but people just want to see it. and it was good. It was just a lot more humor in the Freddy versus Jason and the heads flying off and different things, and it was okay for what it was. Like I enjoyed it.
Now, did you see? I think it's the 6th film, Freddy's Dead,
Mm-hmm.
because that one is not streaming anywhere that I could find.
I
Or
have
else
seen it.
I would have
have-
watched it. And then there was New Nightmare from like '94.
Yep.
I have,
I've seen all of them. I'd have to rewatch to like brief myself on a lot of them, but I've seen all of them because I as a kid it scared me, and I'm like, I really love this film series.
sure. Now, did you ever see the reboot that came out? I think in 2010.
I started watching it. It was terrible. I turned it off.
I heard it was awful.
It was awful.
Did you ever see that movie Watchmen? Zack Snyder movie. It's like a comic book movie.
Is that the one with the smiley face?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen parts
So,
of it. I haven't seen the
The
whole
guy
thing
who plays Rorschach in that plays Freddy
in this.
in this.
In
and
the-
it's like, why didn't you just get Robert Englund back? I don't know. But my buddy at work watched it over the weekend, and he's like, "Yeah, it's not great."
No.
But he's like, if you do like the series in general, I mean, it's worth watching.
Well,
but
that's
it's
why I gave it a shot.
yeah.
But it just was like, it's like when I tried to watch Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Just, at some point, you have to just stop it.
Yep.
And the bleeding.
Although there were a lot of parts of that movie that were filmed in Metro Detroit,
That is true.
right across the street at Orion Oaks. Do you remember where it had the crypt that said
Yeah.
Wayne?
Mhm.
They put that up right across the
Oh,
street,
really?
literally right across the
All
street.
right. Well, that is cool. We just need like James Gunn to write it,
Oh,
and then it would have been
yeah,
great.
absolutely.
Perfect. He could come
Yeah.
here, and then we could be friends. He wants to be my friend. Be my friend, James Gunn.
All right, so let's move on to Killer Clowns from Outer Space, 1988, directed by a dude named Steven Chiodo. I don't think he's done anything else of note, but $1.8 million budget, made $43.6 million. Another mighty fine ROI.
Uh-huh.
Um,
this is a classic. In like, I have a couple of friends who we just absolutely love this. We'll watch it like over and over again. It's just so dumb that it's good. And it's so 80s. Like the clothes, the idea of it, the color scheme, the small town with the coffee shop and the Dickie sheriff. And
Yeah.
it's just the whole thing. It's just, I don't know why it works, but it does.
Yep.
The clowns don't even talk. They just make this like,
Their alien speak.
alien gibber.
Lexa, you watched this first sometime in the past, right? The last couple years with Ray,
It was the first time I seen it. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably about 5 years ago.
and then you watched it again recently, right?
Yeah, I watched it the other day, but that was probably like the third or fourth time I've seen it.
So probably also 4 or 5 years ago, I tried watching it for the first time. Turned it off 15 minutes into it, and it's like, yeah, I normally do like goofy stuff like this, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get into it at that time. I tried watching it again a week and a half ago or so. Maybe I didn't give it a fair shake. I think, you know how it is at night when you're watching a movie and you're
Yeah.
also trying to catch up on text messages and stuff
Right.
on your phone, and you're only half paying attention.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. So maybe I didn't give it a fair shake with paying enough attention to it.
Yeah.
I will definitely give it a chance again. But I also felt the same thing, like maybe I should like this. It's stupid in some of the right ways. I should like it.
Yeah.
In
But-
some of the right
In
ways.
some of the right ways.
But at the same time, for whatever reason, I could not.
Sometimes that happens. Like even movies that everybody loves, I just like The Matrix. Everyone loves The Matrix.
I
don't like it.
It does nothing for me.
It does
I
nothing
watched
for
it
me.
once on DVD, and I'm like,
And I've had people want to fight me over it.
yeah,
They're like,
You're like,
what
"I
do you
said
mean you
what
don't
I
like The
said."
Matrix? I'm like, I love Keanu Reeves, but I hate The Matrix. Like I watched it all the way through, and I was wishing I could get that hour or two of my life back. I get the concept of it, but I don't like any of it. And people love it.
No,
and
I-
I could see this for certain people. You know,
Right,
for me, I crack up at all the dumb humor. Like the old guy sitting on his porch with his dog, and he's like, "We're gonna be plum millionaires," and he goes and gets a shovel, and he's got a lantern, and he
Yeah.
goes out there looking for
God
the
love
meteor.
that poor old
Why?
man.
Why is there a?
He didn't deserve that.
No, he didn't. The circus came to town. Why is it out in the middle of
He's like,
nowhere?
I love the circus.
Let's go inspect it. No.
The theme song for this movie goes hard,
Yes.
slaps,
Yeah.
as the kids say.
Yeah. It is good.
I'd have to listen to
Yeah. You might like it more.
it. Maybe.
You just got to listen to the theme
And,
song too.
and the tiny clown, I don't know if you made it this far, Andrew, but the tiny clown, who's kind of cute, and his tiny little clown nails, and he just straight up punches a guy's head off.
Right
I do.
off.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punched his head clear off. Yep.
And
That
then-
was a
Straight
great
up.
scene.
They throw pies at people. Is that the thing? And
He did kill the one guy with a bunch of pies.
dissolves him.
Yep, dissolved him.
The security guard at the carnival.
and
place.
then they harvest their bodies. Is that what it is? Like they put it.
So they do. They have their little ray gun, and the ray gun shoots them and turns them into a cotton candy pod.
Yeah, yeah.
And they hang it up there, and you're wondering, what are they doing with these things? Well, at some point, the two main guy characters are hiding in there, and you see one clown come in with one of those big bendy straws, and he sticks the bendy straw into the cotton candy pod and is drinking like person out of it. And it looks like blood. And then he's had his fill, and he walks
Nourishment.
away, and he burps, and it's hilarious.
Andrew, did you see this part where they're at the bus stop at night and the clown is making the shadow puppets on the wall and it starts eating people? Like the
shadow puppet
But
dinosaur.
he's making the most absurd like shadow puppets just with his hand, right? Like it's
Yeah.
completely.
Oh, he did like what's that scene of Washington crossing the Delaware?
Yeah, like it just keeps
It's like-
going and going, and then all of a
And
sudden,
the people are like, "Let's go!"
like
This is
they're just
great."
cheering him on, and then all of a sudden his shadow puppets turn evil and start eating everyone at the bus stop.
Yeah.
I
And they somehow end up in his hands, and he puts them in with the popcorn.
Yo, yes, he puts them,
He
in,
puts
the
them
popcorn
in the popcorn
purse.
bag.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
I might have to rewatch.
And the
rewatch this
popcorn
tonight.
turns into like little alien
and
alien
she's
clown
in the
heads
shower.
with like
I
a
love that.
like a long spine neck.
Like a little snake almost.
Yeah, it starts biting at you.
And then when he turns the the just horrible police officer Mooney,
Yes.
into a ventriloquist dummy.
That's the only time that the clowns talk, is he talks through him.
Through, and then he pulls his hand out of the guy's back, and it's all bloody.
He even
where
goes like this, and he's like shakes the blood off of it.
What about? So I feel like Andrew probably didn't make it to the part at the end where they're like full on inside of the clown spaceship
Did you get
chamber.
to the end?
Yeah.
Now we do find out that they kill him by shooting their noses off. You break the
that's
nose.
how you could kill
that's
the
how you
clowns.
kill the killer
Yes.
clowns.
Okay.
But I didn't know if you got far enough to see the girl clowns that the brothers,
Yeah.
the ice cream truck brothers, make face with. The two girl
Yeah,
clowns.
and their boobs, as they're sitting there, they just get bigger.
yes. When they see
And
that,
they were like, "Hey, ladies." It's so funny, and I love that they survive. Because in the beginning, the best friend, who was also making out with the girl, is one of the leads. He says, "Oh, they're like cockroaches. They'll survive. They survive through anything."
and they do somehow survive.
I know their whole
this
truck blows up,
situation.
and they still survive it, and it's
Wow.
it's pretty hilarious. And at the end, they do get pied one last time as they're standing there, which was funny. I watch a show called Virgin River, and I was trying to figure out why the young cop looked familiar. So I looked it up, and he's in Virgin River as well, like
Cool.
somebody's grandpa.
I also did,
how old he is
even
now.
though, speaking of the younger cop guy, even though the movie is absurd, I do feel like they played it well with like the love triangle.
Agreed.
Because the two guys in the love triangle still like kind of put that beside them,
Yeah.
where they can work together to like try
Right.
to.
And
And I feel like they could have made that really cringy, but
they didn't.
But I feel like they.
Like when he found the cotton candy and he got him out of the back of the truck, he's like, "Okay, I believe you." And he takes his
Yeah.
cuffs off, and they're like, "Let's just work together."
Yeah.
And they hug each other at the end. Like they're all three hugging. That was good. But again, it's just all the funny stuff. Like they're tearing up that drugstore.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Like
And the
squirting each
poor-
other
and the
with
poor
shaving
pharmacist
cream.
is like,
And he's like, "Sheriff, I think I have a problem down
and they're
here."
just destroying.
Destroying it, and they're putting all the
store.
candy and things on the counter. So good.
Now, I did read on its Wikipedia page, allegedly, 2 of the masks that were used for the clowns
I
were
read this too.
repurposed for the trolls in Ernest Scared Stupid,
Really?
which Alexa and I watched, 2 years ago? Or maybe more. And my aunt took me to see that movie
Yeah.
at the 50-cent theater in Waterford that's now Motor City Guitar. And I loved it, but it kind of scared me.
Yeah.
I was pretty young. But then Alexa and I, that was the first time you watched it, right? When we watched it a couple years ago?
I feel like I remember us watching it when we were little,
Oh, maybe.
like on TV.
Maybe. But, yeah, man.
Some of the Ernest movies were, I mean, again, funny for what they were. Like,
Yeah.
they were pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've seen that one. Now I'm going to have to watch it because I'm going to have to see if these masks are in it.
The, all these movies we're talking about, the practical effects are really cool, like the
Yeah.
costumes and stuff. It is pretty stupid, though.
I know. It is.
The only other one, I remember Ernest Goes to Jail and Ernest Saves Christmas.
The Christmas
The
one.
Christmas one, yeah.
But right now, when I think back at the Christmas one, I have a very slight feeling of PTSD. It's like I don't know why. You ever
Right?
have things
Oh, absolutely.
like about your childhood? Like, oh, I remember this TV show. Oh, but something about it kind of scares me. I don't know why subconsciously, but it does. Probably shouldn't revisit it. So,
Yeah. You're like, you know what? That's a sign.
yeah. So what would you think this has on Rotten Tomatoes score?
Oh, I bet it's got like an 80.
I saw that it had a 79%, and I
Is it? I knew it.
And in my notes, I wrote I was surprised to read that the film has a 79% on.
I've
Rotten
learned,
Tomatoes.
like I said, there's a lot of people. This is a huge cult following.
Yes. This movie especially.
Yeah, this one particular is huge.
So yeah, everyone was like, one of the quotes from the LA Times, it demonstrates both above average technical skill and large dollops of imagination.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a part like, okay, and did you see the part where she was trying to get out of the house when she was trapped in the house.
Oh, the
Yes. She knows.
I
See,
have that
I don't
written
even have
in
to
here,
say
too.
it, and she
I
knows
have it
exactly
written
what
in
I'm
here, too.
talking about. So she goes to run out, and he's at the front door, and she shuts it. She's gonna climb out the window, and she runs over and opens the window, and gets one leg out, and looks down, and they're dressed like firemen, and they have one of those
like a
a
trampoline.
Oh, yeah,
trampoline,
yeah.
like for her to jump out onto. I'm
But
like,
the clowns are out there dressed like firemen with the trampoline.
it's hilarious.
Hold on. I'm just now realizing that both these cameras the whole time have been on Alexa.
Oh, that's all right. Hey. That's all right. I've been here in spirit the whole time.
I'm sorry. I should have checked that.
Make
Yeah,
you
no
the
worries.
pirate.
That's right. They're like, why is she a pirate? She looks like Alexa.
But no, I do need to rewatch this and actually pay attention. And I know that I will enjoy
And you'll
it.
catch all the small things, like even the little piece of popcorn in the bathroom, like making its way, is again like the claymation we talked about.
Yes.
It's just, it's not CGI. I'm like, how'd they do it? I don't know, but I love it.
So I don't know if you came across this, Alexa, but in April a few months ago, Amazon said that a remake is in works with Ryan Gosling producing.
Okay.
I hope he's not in it
Yeah.
because I'm all for a remake,
Oh, yeah.
but you got to have the right cast. You can't have a bunch of
This is
big names.
no. Either
in
they
my
have to
opinion.
be either they have to be so big that they make it great,
Like
or it's
like
got to be
Nick Cage, who
yeah,
can
like
he
somebody
can
who
pull
can-
off any type of weird thing.
absolutely, because this has
Not-
such
not
a
the
big
guys.
following.
Not the guys.
This is such a big following that if they do it poorly, it will be talked about forever how awful it was, and
Yep.
no one will watch it.
Yep.
Not one person. Just like if they actually redid Goonies or something like that, it'd have to be so exceptional for anyone
they're
to
talking
care.
about. I don't remember if it was a movie or a series of the Goonies.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I didn't-
I'd give it a shot.
yeah. All right. Anything else from Killer Clowns before we move on to the next one?
No, I suggest everybody give it a shot.
Yeah.
It's so good.
All right. For our next film, it is 1978, which that was the year you were born, right, Mickey?
Yes, it was.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh God, this was so good.
Directed by Philip Kaufman, who also helped write the story for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Had a budget of $3.5 million, which in today's dollars is about $17.4 million, and it made on the $3.5 million, it made $24.9 million, so a decent ROI. This movie I saw for the first time probably only 2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't get to catch it all at once because I
Mhm.
just saw it on TV, like on cable, and I remember really liking it, and I'm like, oh, I need to watch the whole thing. Oh, Jeff Goldblum's in this? I got to watch the whole thing.
So good.
The movie starts off with a bunch of establishing shots around
It's like a park or something.
yeah, in San Francisco, and it shows a bunch of close-up shots of plants. Well, even before that, it shows these weird little
Like tendrils.
Mm.
things,
Mhm.
and some things floating around in outer space, like on a rock. And then it's just implied that these things made it to Earth in San Francisco. And you see a couple little things that look like almost like gel on
Mhm.
plants, and a little tiny thing sprouting
Spreading
out a
and
little bit.
multiplying. And yep.
And from there, the story starts with Donald Sutherland. He works for the Department of Health, and his friend, I forgot her name. She looks
Elizabeth.
Yeah,
She looks
Elizabeth.
just like Parker Posey.
She does a
The-
bit.
exactly.
And Ray and I both thought that she kind of looked like Karen Allen also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
both.
she does a bit.
both.
Mhm.
And so Elizabeth's, is it her husband or boyfriend? She said
It's her boyfriend, I think. Yeah.
I think he's
He's
the
a
one.
dentist, by the way.
I think he's the first one that it's talked about in the film that he starts to become different.
Well, because she
He
went
changes.
to the park and she grabbed one of those little pods with a flower on it. And
Yep.
it's small, maybe 2-3 inches big. And she brings it in and she's like, oh, and she has a little terrarium in the house.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, well, this is cool. And she's like, look how fast it's sprouting. And she puts it in a glass of water and sets it on the nightstand, but it's on the nightstand next to him.
Mm.
And, he curls up and he listens to his headphones and he watches his sports and he's like lovey and hugging her and stuff. And she gets up in the morning and he's already up and he's, cleaning up the glass and, fixing this. And she's talking to him and he's not listening to her.
Yeah.
And there's a point too where she goes to hug him and she touches the back of his neck and she like backs away and then he leaves. And I'm like, well, what did she see? Like, did she see something that is now there or wasn't there? And then when that woman is talking and she's like, it's him, but it's not, like he got out of the shower. And she says, oh, did he had a scar and it's not there? And she's like, no, it's still there.
Yeah.
But this isn't my husband. So I'm like, I wonder what she saw. And they never really say it. And
Right. Yeah. When they're talking at that kind of like a
bookstore
park,
or some
Yeah,
sort of
something
like
going on.
yeah.
and Leonard Nimoy's there.
Leonard Nimoy's creepy in this. Yeah.
What's with that half glove that he's wearing? It's
Dude.
not.
Yeah.
It's not explained at all.
No, I think it's just supposed to be some cool 70s thing. I don't even know, but I've never seen it before. And that I couldn't stop focusing on it. Every time I saw him, my eyes went to his hand and his cool little half leather hand glove.
And also around the same time, we see 26-year-old Jeff Goldblum.
Love.
It's got to be one of his first
Yeah.
roles.
And he plays a normal spazzy Jeff Goldblum. Typically him.
Yeah. So one by one, different people in the film start getting replaced by these alien pod things. I thought it was kind of funny when Donald Sutherland goes to the dry cleaner, and that one guy's like,
That's not my wife.
That's not my wife.
That's not my wife. It's my wife, but this is not my wife.
Hey, I wonder if he is a Vietnamese immigrant, and hopefully he didn't die in his sleep in the middle of a nightmare either.
Yeah. Well, I think he had a plant nightmare because he ended up as one of those too. So
That's
I think
right.
he,
Yeah, later on he goes back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I like how they played it where, like, in different scenes where they would just show people, and you'd see, like, you were trying, like, is that person one?
Yes.
Is that person one? And then you see someone running, you're like, well, that person definitely isn't one because they're running. But you didn't really know at first. And that guy, I liked that scene where the guy came up to the car and he's like, they're after me, they're coming.
Yeah.
Like, they're coming. And she's like, what's he saying? And Donald Sutherland's like, I don't know, he's just a crazy person. And he runs past and they're like, some people are watching, but then there's like 10 people actually chasing him.
Yeah.
And then the cop. And then you go around the corner and they've murdered him.
Yep.
And there's like some people are standing there like looking, and then there's other people just like staring at him, and you're like, how many people are affected by this now? Like,
Right.
everybody? It gets you really like, I really liked it. It really like drew me in like intellectually.
That's right. And I told Alexa this before she watched it. I said there are a lot of things that happen in the background, visually, and I think also just the audibly, like the music and some other noises
Yeah.
that shift over the course of the movie
And they do.
as it becomes more
Right.
devoid of humanity.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because they said no more anger.
Yep,
There's no
yep.
need for love. There's no need for, this. And it's like, and you're right. Everything gets quieter.
Yeah, like in towards the beginning when there's a lot of establishing shots around the city. There's
Mm-hmm.
construction noise and traffic and stuff.
Yep. Hey,
That-
come in here. Come check out the live girls. Blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. You
Yep.
know, all the things you would expect.
And
on
then
a
the one
busy
guy
street.
playing the guitar in the park where Matthew walks by and says hi to him. All of that gradually goes away.
Yeah.
So this movie,
There were two
it's
different scenes.
extremely well made.
Yeah, there were two different scenes that really got me. The one, the dog with the human face. Like, I would have yelled just like she did,
Yeah.
except I would have used the F word as well. And I probably would have kicked at it because that was crazy.
Yeah.
And then when you actually see the first Donald Sutherland pod person come out when he's sleeping there,
In the chair.
and
It's got the curly
and
hair,
yeah.
but it's like
and
all
when
slimy.
it oozes out of the pod and it's just there, and you're like, oh God, that's gonna be him. And then it starts to morph into him, and the little stuff is all on his face, and it's kind of like moving a little bit, but not a lot. So it's like scary, but it's not gory scary.
Yep.
And then she's yelling at him to wake up, Jeff Goldblum's wife, and he wakes up and sees himself laying there, and he decides to smash its head in.
Yeah.
I was like, but he couldn't possibly smash the girlfriend's head in. He couldn't bring himself to do it because it looked too much like her. But
At what point do you think Donald Sutherland turns? Because that's the big twist at the end.
it is.
Do you think it happens earlier in the movie than you think, and he's faking it?
I think once he realizes, because they had that moment where they shared that kiss.
Yeah.
And they like really loved each other. And I think once she was one of those things, I think he maybe decided, and plus, they gave him whatever injectable to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So the speed's probably worn off. That's happening. I think he just decided what's left for me and gave into the sleep.
Yeah, that's.
And I think it had to be sometime right after.
It was. Yeah,
he
it was,
realized
right
that,
after she crumbles in his arms.
Yes.
Yep.
Ugh,
And-
she got all pussy and weird. Ugh.
yeah, and then the people are looking for him, but he hides out under a wharf or something.
Yeah.
That's when he turns, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But that is one of the iconic, like when I was a kid too, like you said, how certain things just creep you out and bring back a memory. I've always found Donald Sutherland creepy. And I think it's because of that. When he does that with that face and
Sure.
And the
screams like
shrieking.
that, because again, I was born in 78. So the first time I saw this, I remember seeing pieces of it, but I've seen that part as a kid. And that was terrifying. That squeal is scary that
Yeah.
they use.
Yeah.
Whatever effect or they used for that noise, it was disturbing.
Yeah.
And all of them chasing him with that noise, but him pointing at her and then the way she's screaming afterwards, that was a lot. I still find poor Donald Sutherland. Sorry, I find him scary. He's probably done a lot of really cool things.
The last cool thing he did, he passed away last year.
Did he really?
Or was it this year?
Was it this year?
Something like that.
Oh.
I shouldn't say cool thing, but the last thing he did.
The last big known thing, was that he.
Passed away. But no, everything I've seen him in, I've liked. Maybe is it his blue eyes that are kind of creepy? I don't know.
I don't know what it is. I think he just has that. He just has a little bit of a scary face to me. I hate to say that.
What about his son that looks a lot like him?
Sutherland does not. Although, Lost Boys, also one of my top favorite, top 10.
I need to watch it. I've never seen it.
Shut up.
It is on my list.
I have actually seen that, but only in the last year or two.
They're actually,
Because
it's
of
so classic. They're coming out with a Broadway play
Cool.
of Lost Boys. I just saw that recently. But it's good. You guys got to see that one. It has to be on your watch list.
I'm looking over the production section on Wikipedia just to see if they say how they used how they came up with the screams.
It's so good.
I
'Cause it's
thought I
not-
did read it before.
And I think too,
it
because
was an actual pig or something.
even though
There is quite a squeal to it. There is like a shriek to it. And I
Yeah.
think that shrieking part is what freaks me out a little bit.
Even though, of course, it was such a possibility on the table that he turned, I think I was still totally unexpected to me. And then I was like, oh, that's the end. Like,
When I saw
that
that, as
sucks.
a kid and I realized, when I realized that he was one of them, I was like, oh no. Like I really wanted him to be like the fix
Favorite
everything. But
hero,
again,
yes.
that's what makes the movie good is now it's not fixed.
yeah.
And it's probably not going to be fixed. The world is going to end up being pod people. And people use that as like a reference now to things. Like if people
Yeah.
are,
a lot of people.
generic or whatever, oh, well, they're probably pod people or what are you, a pod person? And it's from this movie.
That's right. It's funny. This movie came out at Christmas time,
Love.
which sort of reminds me
Family
of
and heartwarming.
last Christmas. Nosferatu came out on Christmas Day.
That's right, it did.
It's always funny when these crazy horror movies come out, but on Christmas. But think about this at the time. It's got to be a pretty scary movie because it's not like Freddy Krueger where it's like part supernatural. I mean, of course, the pod thing, the alien part of it is, of course, far-fetched.
Right.
But everything else in this movie is very realistic.
Mm-hmm.
No,
You
it
like,
is.
you're like, I could see this happening if things were just slightly different,
Yeah.
and then how fearful you would be if 98% of the population around you has turned.
And all of a sudden, you're just walking, and people start doing that shriek, and they start full on chasing you. They aren't like just walking toward; they're sprinting at you.
Right.
And they said, it's an easy change. It's not gonna hurt you. Like it's like falling asleep. You don't even know what's happening. So it's not violent. It's just it's disturbing. Yeah, and it's violating in its own way where they're just taking you over.
But apparently, a lot of people at the time and even today still say it is one of in the top 3 like best remakes of all time. I've never seen the one from the 50s.
I thought about watching it, but then I changed my mind. I was like, I have other commitments.
And everyone says, it's better than the original. And I think for the time, late 70s, extremely well made.
Extremely well
I
made.
think it holds up today very well.
That-
I was going to say, I think they did a sort of a remake like in 2010 with my buddy at work, Colin. We were talking about this today, and he said he saw it. I don't remember. I think it was Daniel Craig and Nicole Kidman, a movie called Invasion. It's just called Invasion.
I've heard of Invasion.
And
but
he
I've not
said
seen
that
it.
he thinks it's a remake of this, even though
Yeah.
he's never seen this, but I was telling him about it.
Mm.
But I'm trying to think, like, could we benefit if somebody did a remake of this?
I mean, I think it could be done well.
Yeah.
I definitely think it could. If the right person did it, it definitely could. Because the concept holds up.
Mhm.
You know?
Yep.
Because it easily could happen. Think about all the invasive species that do things. It's not so far-fetched.
Asian carp in the Great Lakes.
Exactly. Zebra mussels. Dun, dun, dun.
I definitely think just the ambiance throughout the whole movie of the paranoia and most of it taking place, at least the second half, in the dark.
Yeah.
And the mud baths and the
Oh, yeah.
all the curtains and
Yes.
just like
I loved the whole thing.
Ooh.
There wasn't anything about it I didn't like.
Yeah, same here.
There really wasn't any one thing I didn't like. Like the cinematography was good. Like all of it was good.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Agreed.
So let's go on to our last film, 1988's The Blob. Directed by Chuck Russell, who also did a movie we just talked about, Dreamscape,
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which we also
I
just
love.
talked about,
Yep.
The Mask,
Oh, that's a great movie.
and then I haven't seen this, but I've seen the picture of how terrible the CGI is, The Scorpion King.
Oh, okay. So there was a time where I watched a lot of wrestling. I think I've mentioned that before in a podcast. I love wrestling. I used to rent the pay-per-views and everything. So I loved The Rock. And he was the main character, I believe, in The Scorpion King, if I'm
Yes.
remembering the one correctly. So I watched it, and it was terrible. But I watched it because I watched The Mummy and all of those, so I had to watch The Scorpion King. It was not good, but and he's
but
absolutely
you
right.
were committed.
It was. The CGI, you're right, was horrible. It was like a big scorpion body with his head, and it was just terrible.
Yeah, the picture of it looks like a graphic from the original PlayStation game.
Yeah. It looks like I drew it,
Yeah.
and then someone CGI'd it. It's real bad.
But yeah, so this movie is a remake of The Blob from 1958, so 30 years earlier.
I did see the original. It's not bad, but
Right.
this is better.
Yeah, I think this is also a case where the remake is better, slightly different. In the first movie, it's just an alien that's come to that.
Again, we've got an invasive species.
Yeah, you got invasive species. You don't know why it's there.
At first.
Yeah, but in this movie, the Blob is a biological or chemical weapon that's on a military satellite.
Mm-hmm.
Later on in the movie, you see all these guys in biohazard suits and rifles, and you're like, oh, okay, so
Yep. And at first, you think the government's coming to help.
yeah,
You think
Yep.
they're coming to save the day, but they're coming to save their project. And you're like, oh.
and
they
also
suck.
there was a subtle, or maybe not so subtle, political angle from the first movie, the Blob, being something that takes over people's bodies or whatever. they likened it to the spread of communism.
Oh,
You know,
okay. Yeah.
after World War II, and being a political science major, I'm like, that wasn't really happening. It was really
Right.
overblown at the time.
Yeah.
There were a lot of anti-communist hysteria, and that's what got us involved in Vietnam, which was a big mistake. Anyway,
Huge mistake. But we won't
Anyway.
go there.
we,
Back
yeah,
to
now that connects
back to the other scary things,
that-
the movies.
that connects back to the Southeast Asian men
Yep.
coming here and dying halfway through
I'm
their
gonna have to watch
nightmares.
Disney movies before bed tonight to get all this out of my brain.
So yeah, they replaced that with our government doing secret stuff, because in the 80s
Yes.
there was also a lot of paranoia about, well, I mean, a little bit like of surveillance and
Oh yeah, Big Brother stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, let's get into the plot of this. So Kevin Dillon is a punk,
A classic baddie.
Yes.
classic baddie
Yes.
with
The hair.
the long hair and
Yep.
motorcycle, and he comes across this old dude who
The old homeless man.
he who witnesses the Blob crash, and it's taken part of his hand, or it's
You
taken
know,
over his hand.
And in our past podcast where we talked about when we watched Slither,
Yeah.
you find something gooey
Yeah.
that
Don't touch
drops
it.
out of the sky into the woods, and you take a stick and you poke it.
S-
Never a good idea. And it was almost the same like scene
Yeah,
with the stick,
I-
and it gets on the end, and I'm like, I wonder if James Gunn got that from
I-
this movie.
in my probably out loud, I was saying, "Oh, okay, I know where he got this from."
Yeah.
yeah.
And it creeps up onto that stick, and that poor old man, and I'm like, put it down. It's over your face. It's over your face. And he's holding it like this, and it drops right down and chomps down on his hand. And apparently, the Blob is like live battery acid. It will just eat through you.
Yeah, and some of the different people that it gets, you see like their body
Inside.
inside
Oh,
of
yeah.
it, but and then it, like their
I
Their
think
face
my
starts
one of
melting
my
away.
favorite scenes from the movie is the waitress. She's in the phone booth.
Oh,
She runs
yeah.
out of
oh
the
yeah.
diner, and she's in the phone booth, and it's over the phone booth, and she calls the station, and she gets through to the dispatch, and she's like, I need sheriff, I forget what his name is. She's like, I need the sheriff.
He went
And
to
she
the
goes,
diner.
he's on his way to the diner, and the phone goes dead, and she looks,
And
and
he's
it's
in the
the face,
window.
and the face is
Yeah.
all eaten, but you see the sheriff badge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's so great. Like, I love the way they played that.
And also, in the movie theater, the projectionist, he's
Yeah.
he's like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that
Over
part.
the top, and the guy goes
Yeah.
looking for him, and he looks up,
Yeah.
and it just grips
Looks
him
up
up.
at the ceiling.
One of my favorite, and it scared me as a kid a lot, because I was 10-ish when this came out. And when they're in the theater and it's flashing, and
Oh,
you
the
only
flashing, yeah.
see,
Mm.
like, you can see it, and it's morphing, and it's doing its thing, and you see people kind of getting pulled into it, but you don't see it as a whole. You're seeing it in these flashes.
Yeah.
The strobing.
And it's
Yeah.
terrifying. And in
Yeah.
the beginning, when it first comes into the theater and it bubbles up like that, and the other one, when it comes out of the sink in the diner, when it
Oh,
pulls,
yeah,
Pulls
yeah.
that guy
it
through.
pulls him all the way in, folds him like a pretzel, and pulls him straight into the drain, which your brain is like, not possible, but you're like, oh God, it just, again, we've got someone sticking their hand down into a drain hole. That is something for me that I can't handle. Do not stick your hand in a hole where something could get you.
Yeah.
In any hole anywhere.
That's
And it
true.
just sucks him right in. And then he goes out, and it's a big blob on the ceiling. And that for me was like, and again, I don't know how they did that, how they managed that movie wise, but I just thought I liked this one a lot.
So my earliest memory of this movie, it was playing on TV when I was a kid at our house. And I remember the very end when they're on the street and everybody's trying to spray it with cold stuff
Yes, she's got the
and the fire
the
extinguisher
fire
stuff.
extinguisher.
That I do remember that always stuck in my head, being super young and how it was grabbing people and stuff. And then I went probably 25 years without even thinking of it, and then watched it.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, I remember
I
this.
do remember that part.
Now, what about the preacher dude?
He's,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
creepy.
He's creepy, and of course, he holds on for a sequel because he steals some
Yeah.
pieces of the Blob. And I did like the one of the scenes for me when they're at the hospital and he's trying to call the police and he gets sucked in and she walks in the room and he's like reaching out to her and the Blob has him kind of like pulled back,
Oh,
but
and
his
and
arm is
arm
out.
comes off.
Yeah, and it
I
comes
remember
off.
as a kid that being like an iconic, like when they would talk about the Blob or we're showing the Blob or it's going to be on. That was one of the scenes that they showed, and his whole arm rips off. And she's actually, I was, looking into some of the actors in this. Shawnee Smith is a scream queen as well. She was in the Saw movies, which Andrew's not overly familiar with. She is like a main character in subsequent ones. And she's also been in a lot of other horror movies. But I saw that between her and the guy that plays the sheriff, is it Jeffrey Deman? They were both in a lot of Stephen King stuff. Like she was in, first of all, she was in Summer School, not a Stephen King, but that is one of my favorite 80s like comedy movies. If you guys haven't seen it,
No.
oh, you have to watch it. It's you will love it. You both will love it. But she was in the Stand TV series. She was in the Shining TV remake. And there was something else she was in that was his, and I didn't write it down. But she was also in Iron Eagle, Leaving Las Vegas. So a couple other really good, things that weren't just crappy horror movies. But and he was in The Mist, The Green Mile, Shawshank, and Storm of the Century.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, well, he really likes these guys. I had
Yeah.
no idea that he kind of handpicked certain people for certain things. But I think doing the podcast, I start doing deeper dives into movies that I wouldn't normally do
Sure.
diving into.
Now, the actor who plays the Reverend, the preacher, his name's
I was reading his wiki page. I was like, what?
yeah.
Oh, I did not look up
So
him.
his name's Del Close,
Okay.
and I first learned about him taking improv classes 9 years ago. I think I started taking 2016. So he was one of the people that started like what we know as like improv comedy
Really?
in Chicago. Yeah, like in the 70s and 80s. Yeah.
I did not know that.
And I a couple of my teachers, some of the older teachers, they met him before. He died a while ago in '99. But yeah, he was quite a character. They said he was like he could be like really mean and like pretty racist and misogynistic.
He has that look to him.
But I'm like, oh wow, okay, I've heard of this guy from people that met him in real life.
Right.
But I was wondering if like they would have tried to make a sequel based on
I thought they
based
did.
on that.
Did
The
they?
end.
They did not.
No,
I thought there was a Blob too. There's not.
there was something in the '70s called I think "Son of the Blob" or something, which
Oh,
is like
that's
a
funny.
parody. I think.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, this might be another movie that's ripe for a
Yeah, exactly. At the bottom of the
remake.
bin.
But yeah, just like the other movies we were talking about tonight, I love the practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that there was a lot of stop motion animation in this. And I don't know exactly what they made it out of, but sometimes it kind of looks like a beanbag.
Yep.
When it like you could just go in and sit in and be comfy. Sometimes it's got like little arms that comes out and grabs things.
It's grabbing her hair as it's going into the sewer, and it's burning her hair.
It can be whatever you
you want it to
Yeah,
be.
whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Something funny I had jotted down was that my husband always watches TV with subtitles on. Andrew's favorite.
You
I
know
can't
what?
do it.
My daughter does that too, and I can't stand it.
And I've gotten used to it now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand.
But-
like, what's the purpose?
But
It's distracting.
Yeah,
now,
very distracting.
but it was pretty funny during the Blob. Some of the subtitles included slimy gurgling and gurgling continues.
Oh my God, that's especially funny though.
Slimy gurgling.
Slimy gurgling.
That was the subtitle for the Blob's moving, and gurgling continues.
Yeah, I agree. It's very distracting, and it's like
so distracting.
I'm my eye is going to the lower third of the
Yeah,
the
because
film.
I'm
Yeah,
reading and trying to watch. I'm like, I can't.
I'm the kind of guy, like I said earlier, I love to see what's going on the screen and how they did it.
Right,
In my mind, I try to figure out how they did it,
right.
and then also the cinematography in general. So
Right.
my mind is thinking of like 4 different things at once. I don't need to add
You're like,
another
quit
unnecessary
trying to
thing.
make me read. I'm not trying to read right now.
If it's a foreign film, then that's fine, you know. But
True.
That's one thing.
yeah, that's one thing. So we're right at an hour. Anything else you ladies like to say about these films or anything else?
No.
I see Alexa has already gotten rid of her witch hat.
It kept falling off.
All right. And you guys only got to see my pirate hat for a little while, but so
Yeah.
I'll leave it on.
But yeah, I enjoyed 3 of these movies really well. But no, like I said, I will rewatch Killer Clowns because it was one of those instances where I think I was a little too much distracted,
Yeah.
and I need to give it another shot.
It's funny because I am clown phobic. Like I do have a fear of clowns, and for Killer Clowns, it's just like not. It doesn't happen because it's
Doesn't
so
apply.
hokey. It doesn't apply.
Did you see it when you were really young?
I was disturbed by it. The TV series when it came out was so, and I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I know I've said
Yeah.
that on the podcast before. So
yeah.
my sister had read the book and she told me the story. So I knew the story when I watched it, and the TV series scared me to death.
Sure.
I was terrified of that. I showered backwards, looking at the drain hole for months. I was sure that something was coming out of that and going to grab me when I was backwards and not looking.
Wait, so the shower drain was normally behind you?
I shower not facing the drain. I face the wall this way.
But I mean, you have to turn around sometimes.
I do to rinse,
Okay.
but I
Oh, like
face the drain
90% of the
whole
time.
Like to rinse my hair. You're not going to get me, clown. I'm not turning around today. Like, I didn't turn around at all. I just put everything back that way and only face that way. I mean, that scared me a lot. And the remake was a lot. And I have to say, I am going to, starting tonight, depending on the time, or tomorrow, they have was it Return to Derry
Yeah.
or the new series that's out.
I've heard it was good.
I heard the first one right out the gate is real good.
What's it streaming on? Probably
I thought it was Max,
HBO.
but it might be Hulu.
I would say it's probably Max.
It's probably
HBO.
Max.
HBO's killing it right now.
Killing
They
it.
have much better stuff than Netflix or anybody else. HBO is
Did,
killing.
did you guys watch Ed Gein?
Mm-mm.
No,
Okay.
because the other podcast I do here in this room,
Okay.
it used to be called Hollywood Crime Scene.
Okay.
We did a whole episode on him
Okay.
and all the movies that it inspired.
Yep.
And guess whose job it was to look up the details of all the crimes.
So you're disturbed.
I'm like, guys,
And they go
don't.
and they
Yeah,
they go
it's-
into it and they do show like how it's connected and they plan to play on those things in the show. I liked that part of it. Like I really thought it was done well, and I like the guy. What's the producer? He does all the American Horror Story stuff.
Yeah.
And
I know who you're talking
you know what I'm
about.
talking about.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good, but I thought you'd like it because it does touch on all the movie aspects of the movies that they put out, and it shows like why they wanted to do it, and like of course they're moving it up and embellishing on it. But I thought you'd really like that.
They do talk about the
connection with the movies.
so
It's part of the whole thing.
so is it like part documentary, part dramatization?
Correct. Like it's the dramatization of it, but then they touch on all the things that he inspired.
Oh,
And they
okay.
bring some of that into it, like Psycho and
Ah.
Texas Chainsaw
Yeah.
Massacre, and even
Silence of the Lambs.
and even they touch on how he inspired Ted Bundy and how he inspired this Birdman, who was another serial killer, and who was it, Gacy, and
Yeah.
and they touch on all of that. It was actually, I thought it was really good.
So, I think I've told you, Mickey. I'm right now an assistant director on a film that my buddy is directing. It's called Phantom Moon, and one of our makeup effects guys here is a Facebook post of his. He did some work on that series.
Yes.
So
It was-
yeah,
I mean, it's worth a watch. It definitely is. Oh yeah, I remember this scene.
yeah. So I met the guy a couple months ago.
That's
really
cool.
really nice. He's got a studio here in Metro Detroit and a studio in Chicago. He goes back and forth, and that's how he makes a living.
Yeah.
Which it's hard to find people in Detroit that can make a living doing movie stuff,
I know.
especially since 9 years ago the tax credits went away. We're trying to
Yeah.
get them back,
We
but
need it. We need it.
the legislature will not move on it. They voted not to pass it back in December. We're trying to get it back in front
Come
of
on,
them.
Michigan. We like
Yes,
fun. Like
we
fun with
like
us.
fun. There's a lot of opportunity
A
here
lot of it.
with all the abandoned warehouses in Detroit.
Oh yeah.
Just north of this city, there's tons of nice forest up here.
Yeah.
So,
Lots
all
of
sorts of
places
cool
to
stuff.
film.
All right, folks, that is it for It Came From the Discount Bin, episode 4. We hope you all have a happy Halloween, and we will catch you next time.
We'll see you around Turkey Day.
We'll see you right around, right before, right after, I don't know, Thanksgiving. And we will catch you next time. Leave a comment wherever you read this or watch this. We'll see you next time, folks. Goodbye.